Man, you come straight out of a comic.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Straight Out of a Comic Book. I'm your host, Will Pharaoh, and today we have a very special edition. Glasses got to come off. This is the Star Wars May the 4th be with you edition. Shout out to everybody that is a Star Wars fan. The franchise has been around for over 30 years. And today's debate in which we're having on this episode of Straight Out of Comic Book is for us to figure out why the fuck has it been here so long? That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We are finally here in the black community, stepping out like the Siths that y'all love in y'all story to show, and let us be known that we think Star Wars ain't shit. I think it's the most overhyped story I've ever heard, but we are not going to just throw it under the bus just yet. We want to make sure y'all know who's on who. Myself, of course, Dion are going to be on the opposing team. We don't think Star Wars, we don't believe it. Star Wars ain't shit. But of course, we got Young Deuces and Broady the Joker here, Brandon Broady himself, to defend the franchise. 30 years of franchise. So y'all got a lot that y'all can probably pull out. But you got two of the most best shit talkers here of the City of Angels right now. So good luck to that. Dion, how you feeling about today's debate?
You remember that Tyra Banks video meme when she was like, I was rooting for you. We were all rooting for you. That's how I felt about Star Wars. Granted, I came in late watching Star Wars. I heard about Star Wars, mixed it up with Star Trek for years.
Cool.
I know a lot of niggas are hating on that. So by me joining the bandwagon, I watched it at the tender age of, let's get past that. I would say about 98. I watched it the first time in 98. Mind you, we got Terminator 2. We got fire CGI now. So when I watched this movie, it was like, it ain't even about the CGI, because that was in the 70s. So now I was like, okay, it was just groundbreaking. That's it. It was new. It was new of its time. They had lightsabers. They had the little choo 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 choo. Like, the story was it was fun, a coming of age. But I'm just kind of like, I don't think it's that big of a hype. I just think it was just mind-boggling, and a little child that's like, oh my God, this is on TV. I'm seeing creatures and wars and ships. This is crazy. I think that's what happened, and it grew from the hype of it. That's it. I don't think the story is strong for them to be like, we got to keep going. For Disney to be like, $1 billion, let's go. I don't think the story is that strong. That's it. I'm gonna start with that top tier overline.
I think that was a good way to come in with the opening statement from Mr. Dion Lack here on the opposed team. I completely agree. As this debater's mediator too, I will be unbiased in my decision in who's going to win this debate, even though I'm on this team. Because it won't be up to me. It's going to be up to the people in the comments below. So if you're watching this in the comments below, you let us know who won between the two of us. Anything I'm saying that's media-wise don't mean shit. It's up to y'all, the audience. But I want to ask Deuce and Broady, how are y'all feeling about the debate? And please let us get your opening statements on this very overhyped franchise of y'all's.
All right, I'll go first because Star Wars is too iconic for it to be overrated. And the reason why I say iconic is there's certain things that people relate to Star Wars that are generally like the consensus. So you know how like time travel, like we all go off of Back to the Future rules. Like that's kind of like the baseline rules.
Fantastic story, by the way.
Yep. Yeah. If you were to have a futuristic gun, what noise would you make? How would that gun sound if you make that noise?
Pew.
Okay. If you had like a mechanism that gives you like a sword that come out of nowhere, what sound are you going to make when that sword retracts?
Your Honor,
It's
can
gonna
I
be-
say something? Can I say something, Your Honor?
No, I'm not. No.
Yes, you are. No,
You're not
I'm not.
doing it. No, you.
Wait.
You
No.
You
I didn't
no.
say a real sword. I didn't say a real sword. I'm talking about like if you had like a mythological sword, not a real metal sword, but if you had a sword.
My first thing I would hear is like air compression if I came out with something like that. That sound.
That's because you're very technical.
No.
The
The other one I
lightsaber,
give you. That lightsaber shit, fuck no.
the
But Dion,
lightsaber is
you had-
universal, but nonetheless, there are so much iconic things that Star Wars have provided. That is the basis for sci-fi. That is the basis for geek and nerd culture. There's no way that you can say it's overrated when it has that much cultural importance to a whole culture of sci-fi. So that's my opening statement.
Okay.
Groundbreaking.
Okay. Yes, Dion, you said you had an objection.
Groundbreaking. That's it. It's like when somebody say, hang up the phone. We used to hang up the phone. Literally hang up the phone. It was the new thing. Now we hang up the phone like this. We don't literally hang up no more. The lightsaber, zoom, that was groundbreaking. When you pew, 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 that was groundbreaking. That was the first of its kind. So
But if
everyone is mimicking the pioneer. Like
right.
It was visually amazing.
So it goes back to so I asked this question on Instagram, and this kind of goes to it. Can a classic album be removed from classic? So if something is groundbreaking and iconic, can it ever not be iconic? Because since Star Wars been, they haven't made a new pew 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 sound. It's always the pew pew pew. So I'm just saying. So I'm gonna let my man Broady speak though, because I know he got
let's
some
go ahead
stuff.
and get Brody before we dive in. Brody,
Furious, he like this.
looking like a Sith Lord, just.
First of all, I sense a lot of hate in both of your hearts. Hate leads to anger. Anger leads to pain. Pain leads to suffering. All right. So right now, I'm suffering because of y'all's hate for the Star Wars franchise. It is a timeless franchise. Timeless. The reason is because the stories are timeless. They're love stories at the end of the day, but they cover everything. If you look at the analogies that they make within the Star Wars films, you can understand how governments work, how society works, how civilizations work, how they start, how they fall, how wars even start, how like even within our society. There's so much that's packed into Star Wars that if you look at the Star Wars timeline, it becomes almost a Bible for everything that is going on right now. Literally, the things that happened already in Star Wars happening right now, man. You're talking about dictators that were popular amongst everyone that then become like a Sith Lord. I mean, come on, Donald Trump was straight up a powerful person already, and then he became a supreme emperor, aka our president. You know, like that's literally just a small micro analogy within that. You have characters that are beloved. These are characters that when they first came out, when they were all casted, these were nobodies. They were nobodies. Star Wars, what it has done, it's made Mark Hamill forever in your heart, Luke Skywalker. Forever. He's forever Luke Skywalker. Yeah, he's the Joker. Yeah, he does some Joker voices. Yeah, he's might be in a few roles. He's forever Luke Skywalker. Harrison Ford, okay, Indiana Jones, I'll give you that. That's Han Solo for the rest of your life, man. These were nobody actors. They were like really like maybe C-list, D-list actors. They really didn't have anything iconic. It's done so much for the community. It's done so much for people. It's brought people together. There's a reason there's conventions. Star Wars is a beautiful, beautiful thing.
Y'all ain't said nothing about the story. I just keep saying how
he did say the story.
Impactful it is. It's like it's crazy. Everyone knows about it.
He
like
said everything
knows
about the
cocaine
story.
and crack too. But we know how terrible it is.
Dion,
Everybody, we get conventions, man.
Then I heard love story. Where? What?
The biggest love story of all is Darth Vader.
I thought the biggest love story was the incest of Luke and Layla fucking.
No, Layla, don't you disrespect her name like that.
Did that not happen? Did that
She is not a DMV worker. Her name is not Layla.
And you not
Wait,
and why are you reducing her to that one moment that has nothing?
Okay, so we got that relationship. We got Darth Vader and whatever them two queens that was running around. Ain't no telling what happened with them. And this dude just got angry issues.
Okay. One was a decoy queen. One was a decoy queen, and one was actually Padme. One was her decoy.
I will say, did not know the second one was Keira Knightley. Did not know that. That was actually pretty dope.
We gonna do plot holes? Can I ask some questions?
Yes.
Present your plot holes because they'll patch it up with another Rogue One.
How did Anakin? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Rogue One was the. Thank you. We gotta fix everything.
It was plot filler. They filled in the plot hole and they sealed it up. And I was like, you did a good job.
Yeah.
I gotta know though. But it's like there's so many plot holes that y'all highlight that don't make sense. Like, why do y'all keep thinking Darth Maul is back after he fell down a whole hole cut in half? The dude's dead. Why do y'all keep jumping on this?
But first things first, if what major franchise doesn't have some plot holes for one? So I just want to make sure I throw that out there.
But it has major, as in like this is a major part of the story. It felt like he definitely had Star Wars 1. It's like, oh, this shit pop. Okay, let's scrap the whole him kissing his sister thing. Let's make give me the goddamn paper, man. Come on, give me the shit. You gotta figure out how to keep this going.
That's just what happened. Because you know we saving some things. Like, first off, there's like this in a galaxy far, far away. First of all, where the fuck y'all at? When is this happening? And then
come looking for us.
And then two, I'm starting to really think this galaxy is broke. I'm just gonna throw that out there. Because every time I didn't watch these stories and don't none of these planets be popping like that.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
You got this lava ass planet where y'all just enslaving folks.
Mustafar.
I'm taking that's what a Sith said. Tatooine, which from my perspective, y'all got 2 cities. That's it. There's 2 cities on that whole planet. The rest ain't nothing but desert. There was one other planet that looked very prosperous that I think the Death Star blew up. Then y'all blew up another planet that looked like it was dope. Then there's that swamp planet where Yoda be at, which ain't Dagobah. Swamp. Mm-hmm. Then there is what it was, the one where Luke was at on them cliffs. Y'all look like y'all got a broke galaxy.
Acto.
Keep your money up. Okay,
so I'm gonna respond to this. Okay, if you understand empires and taking over, no pun intended, you take over all the rich civilizations. The reason there's not prosperous planets is because the empire, as a fleet of ships, runs the galaxy. They don't even, the Death Star literally is the planet that represents the elite. Okay, for one, Alderaan was the planet that was blown up. That was a prosperous planet. That's where Princess Leia is from. That's her home planet. They had a hierarchy. They had a wonderful system. It's a part of the Old Republic, okay? They destroyed that. They got rid of that. If you look at the sequel trilogy, all the rich people reside on Canto Bight, all right? Canto Bight is the casino galaxy. That's where all the rich people go. That's where they race those animals. That's where they do the things right there. So to be rich in the galaxy is a threat to the empire or a threat to the First Order, okay? So they have to, they get rid of that. That's why nobody is really rich. Jabba the Hutt, his riches he's rich, okay? But he's rich through crime. He's in the underworld. There's a whole underworld. You can't just be flashy out in these streets because the empire is going to tax you. Either they're literally going to tax you or they tax you with your life. If you look at the early trilogy, Anakin was actually a slave, all right? He was a slave. He had to be bought out of slavery. So I'm telling you, people are run by the Senate in the original trilogy, in the prequel trilogy. The Senate runs all, and then in the original trilogy, it's the Empire. The Empire runs it, and they said, "Oh, we're not going to make those mistakes that the Senate made. We're not going to do that. We're going to take over everything. We're not going to let people have little riches and prosperous planets. We're going to one by one take out all the rich planets, take out the Jedi, take out anyone that is an opposing threat to the Emperor the Empire and the Sith."
Yep. And you got to think if you were calling your crew the Empire, you already are bound to start taking over shit because and that's exactly what it's like. What you were saying, Will, it's like if you watch The Wire and it was like, man, all of Baltimore look broke. Like, no, fam, we're focusing on the people trying to come up. We're focusing on the people that are impacted by the Empire, by the bad guys in the movie. So it's like, yeah, you're gonna see it's not gonna look all glitz and glamour because they took over. That's the fight.
But nobody came up.
They did. They all in A New Hope. They all got medals.
Yeah, you got to rebuild.
And then they went back into slavery. The First Order came. You lost. Like none of it mattered. But that's the thing. No one came up. Han Solo stayed broke. Leia couldn't decide between her brother or him. So there's that mixture.
Han Solo wasn't broke. He owed Jabba the Hutt a lot of money. He won the Millennium Falcon.
In debt, dog. He just in debt.
He's in debt, bro. We all in debt. He's in debt. That don't mean he's broke. He owes a nigga some money, man. He owes a nigga some bread. How you think Princess Leia would have really gone for a broke nigga? You know what I'm saying? He wasn't broke. He told baby, I got a Millennium Falcon. I can show you the galaxy. I can show you, like, you know what I'm saying? That was Han Solo's whole plight. He got a princess, just like, where do you think the story of Aladdin came from? Star Wars.
Bro, the sidebar though. If you ever do a debate, I gotta say that was first class right there. That response was great. He like, he ain't broke. He in debt. All right, he's in debt.
We've all been in debt, man.
The funny thing is, Broady is like he's not even playing. He is like almost crying now. He's sweating. He said, "Y'all talking about my daddy right now, man."
That's what I'm saying. No one came up. Luke lost his arm. Luke got a whole bunch of kids killed.
Whoa.
This dude lost a whole religion. He tossed away a whole religion. Who else was there? Chewbacca. They never got their home planet back. They were still enslaved, and he never went home.
No, Chewbacca was down for the adventure. See, you missing out. A lot of people ain't out here just trying to get cashed out. Some people just want the adventure and want to be able to
Chewbacca was actually a slave.
Right. And
Han Solo saved him.
He riding with the homie. He like, fam, wherever you at, I'm at. If we
he broke him out of jail. He's like, yo, I got you, fam. I got you. You know, what up?
Right. They you remember back in the day where people used to drive cross country and they used to like hit all the areas and then they'll have like photo ops and stuff like that. That's what Chewie and Han doing. They just ride through the galaxy exploring. You know what I'm saying? They just kicking it down.
Getting bitches.
Can I ask you this? Why, when you find out that you have the Force, you conveniently don't use it? Like you just kind of like occasionally, like I'm gonna use it when the story fits.
Okay.
Is it exhausting? Do they get tired if they use it too much?
No, because if you pay attention to The Mandalorian and you understand the Force is a power that if you don't understand it and if you don't know how to harness the Force, it could be a very dangerous power. Yep. As you saw Rey, she couldn't control her Force. She tried to pull an entire ship back in The Rise of Skywalker, and she ended up shooting lightning out of her fingers because she didn't harness the Force energy as far as the light side. So the dark energy was coming through. And when that comes through, you can kill people. Anakin killed his own wife by accident. You understand? He loved her so much that he accidentally killed her because he didn't harness his feelings and his emotions. And when you are Force sensitive, you can be a real threat.
Yeah. So they figured this out on the later one because that was in the fifth one. This is how they keep making them to kind of patch up loopholes.
Okay. No, because they showed you off the rip with Anakin that if you don't respect the Force, that you can succumb to the dark side. See, that's another thing. You got to remember, like I said, the Force. It's because of the power. Like if you don't do the proper training and respect it, then the dark side is easier to fall into. Just like a nigga with a pistol, it's easy to get into trouble. But it's like if you got to go to the gun range, you got to practice, you got to go through the classes. Same thing with the Force. Just because you got the Force don't mean that you wielding it to perfection right off the rip. Look how long it took everybody else to Luke to master it.
Here's what I've learned. the Force is cocaine. That's what that emphasis is. And what we learned is the Siths got better cocaine than the Force.
Okay, because now I got a question.
Because if you go back to that video game, Force Unleashed, there's no spectrum on the Force. Like you got little baby Yoda who's like 78 years old already trying to hold a rhinoceros, and then you got this other dude who's only like a teenager brought 2 whole Imperial ships down from space with his hands. No lightning came out. So that is what the Force is. It's cocaine, and the Jedis ain't got no good one. They freebasing. That's why they don't like using it.
Well, I'm not gonna let you just say it's cocaine. There is a drug in the galaxy. They call it spice. We don't know exactly what it is, but that's the drug. That's the drug. It's called spice. All right. Cocaine, I wouldn't equate it to the Force. The Force, it is because cocaine is something that is pretty much bad.
I was about to say that there's no.
The Force is something that can be good within moderation. It's a glass of wine.
So what you're saying is, if you microdose cocaine, you are a functioning Jedi.
Let's make it magic mushrooms. Okay, right. It's psilocybin.
I feel like Jedi should upgrade the cocaine because the Siths got way better benefits when they use the Force. I ain't seen no Jedi choke nobody out yet.
Is that a positive? Like, see, so it seems like you're leaning more so on the dark side, because I
just don't like the perception of what y'all was given. Like, who said lightning was bad? Like, why y'all gave them light? I feel like the Jedi should have light. The Flash got lightning.
Hold on,
Raiden.
Yeah, Raiden.
But here's the thing, and Raiden, there's no way that you have lightning and you do this and it looks like you don't look threatening. If you do this and lightning shoots out your hand, everybody's running. Nobody's going to trust you.
Okay, Deuce, now that's just racist.
Yeah, this isn't static shock, Will.
That's like
if I do this and you come towards me, that's not terrifying?
Right.
If I do this, you're like...
First of all, this right here, looking at you just...
Yeah.
And then somebody else just start talking. Nah, that shit is creepy.
Professor X
got creepy gestures. I just noticed that. They be having look, you can't.
That's hello. This means hello universally. It's a welcoming.
Panties off.
These are not the droids you're looking for.
Tell me there ain't been one perverted ass Jedi that was like, you will come.
Yeah, it was somebody on the dark side.
Nah. Siths 2 player, they ain't got to do all that shit. I'm dark. What I gotta trick you for? But like, bitch, come back to my Imperial, man. Let's go.
You saw Kylo Ren. Kylo Ren was a whiny, crybaby ass. Like, bro,
he don't know who his daddy is. He don't know if it's Uncle Luke, and he should be calling him Uncle Daddy Luke, or if it's Han Solo.
He knows he's daddy. He has daddy issues. That's the thing.
Yes. Why is that? And why is that the constant? If y'all can tell us. Why is that the constant throughout Star Wars?
Because it's real life. We see these people in the real world. You find out the root of their trauma is because they got some daddy issue. Luke's no different. His daddy walked out just like a lot of people that are watching the podcast right now. And you're suffering from trauma as an adult because your father left and did some dark shit. And it's like Luke, he had such heart. He said, I know there's good in you. I'm going to get this good out of you. And he waited 3 films to find the good. And that film was Return of the Jedi. He returned a Jedi. He brought him back. He brought him back so that he could be a Force ghost, so he can be within the Force.
So how did Anakin sense that Luke was his child, but couldn't sense that Layla was? Remember that? He was like,
Yep, because he talked to her way more than he talked to Luke.
Come on.
I think he did. I think he did know. He felt Luke's presence on Endor. And then Luke was like, I gotta go, because Luke they felt each other's presence, and Luke basically sacrificed himself. He went with Darth. He let himself be captured basically to protect the mission.
But how did Darth know that was his son, but he didn't know Layla was his daughter?
He could feel it.
But he didn't know Layla was his daughter?
Oh no, he met him on he already met him. He told him, I'm your father in Empire Strikes Back. I'm besting.
Said, why couldn't Anakin, Darth Vader, know that Layla was his child as well?
We're gonna stop calling her Layla.
What is her name?
Princess Leia.
Leia.
What am I
That's
saying
what
wrong?
we're saying.
No,
Y'all adding another L. Y'all adding the L from salmon into Layla.
This is not.
Is it
It's not
Layla
salmon.
or Leia?
Don't
Leia.
salmon this up.
It's not
Leia?
Layla Ali. That's Layla Ali.
Leia.
Leia.
It's Leia.
Like
That's what
Leia.
we're saying.
No,
Like Leia.
you are
Not
saying
Leia.
it right.
There's no
Will.
P. There's no P. Dion, you refuse to say it right. There's no P. There's no L.
Princess Leia. That is hilarious.
Princess Leia.
Somebody really need that name.
That'd be a good WNBA name.
WNBA. Princess Leia.
Princess Leia. Hey, that's dope.
The force is strong with Princess Leia. Yeah, that's
But
good. I
now,
like
how
that.
did he not? But like he said, how did he not know Princess Leia was his daughter?
And she was there the whole time. In the shit.
Yeah,
Okay,
they
there's
had
no,
lunch together.
I'm gonna
And
say
that's
this. I don't think there's
Okay, look
any
at him.
clear
He's
evidence to show because he chased. You know what? He chased her down at the end of Rogue One. He could feel. I know he felt some kind of presence, and I'm sure that he knew because he was chasing after it. He said, "Chase that blockade runner." He knew where the plans were. He knew
Rogue
everything.
One, bro. They figured they had to tie things together. Stop it, yo. Stop.
But wait a minute. But if it's tied together now, then you can't use that no more. Everything gets tied. Once it's tied together, it's in the lore. So
Yeah,
you had 30
when it was done.
30 years of all of that, and it took a movie to clean all that up. Y'all are ridiculous. You'll never hear Harry Potter doing any of this. Nothing got to get cleaned up from Harry Potter. We know what happened.
Listen, it's been 30 years, and we still don't know what Tommy did in Martin for a job. Nobody called that a plot hole. Why?
That's a great point. That's a great point, Deuce.
No, they did. They told us what Tommy did. Tommy worked at the boys' home.
When they tell us that, because I feel like he was just volunteering there.
Because somebody told me that. I don't know if it's true. I'm telling you what I was told. They said that he worked for the boys and girls home.
Let's just be honest. They had New Hope. That was it. And it took off. And now they was trying to we had to have a sequel. And they didn't tie in all the possibilities that it's gonna keep going.
Don't be disrespectful, Dion, because I saw you last Tuesday. And what shirt did you have on?
I had a Star Wars
shirt. What specifically, what shirt was it?
Come on, man. First of
all, no. Tell me what shirt. Tell Your Honor. I asked him, Dion, what shirt were you wearing last Tuesday?
Gotta answer, Dion. Gotta answer.
He was wearing the best shirt in the franchise. What shirt was that?
First and fucking foremost.
No.
The shoes and the hat went fire with it. That's it.
And it wouldn't have if you didn't have an Empire Strikes Back t-shirt on. You're literally wearing the best installment in the franchise on your person. Okay? Absolutely. Why would you put that on your person if Star Wars didn't need to be continued? If we got everything from A New Hope, you think they had to stop at Empire Strikes Back?
Wait. Just because they gave us a sequel don't mean it had to keep going.
Oh, it had to keep going.
We didn't have to get Terminator 2, but we got it. It was great. We didn't have to get 3. We didn't need 3. No one asked for 3, but we got 3. Now we on 17. Just like Fast and the Furious. So it's not that.
Yeah, and it's just about family. It's about family.
This is what happened with The Matrix, man. The Matrix took off. The Matrix took off. It was like, we gotta have another one. That was brilliant. They're like, shit, we already made him Superman now. We can't defeat Neo. We gotta figure out how to let's have sub characters that doesn't have powers. And when they get into the crunch, let's bring Neo in. That's what happened. Matrix was just a one-off.
Okay, but then the last Matrix that was so trash, when they tried to fill those plot holes and everything and fix everything so that way they can continue, it didn't work. But when Star Wars did it, it worked and it launched a whole galaxy franchise. We got Mandalorian, we got Boba Fett, we got so much expansion.
Did y'all hate episode 1, 2, and 3? Y'all hated when the prequels came out.
No, I didn't hate them. Episode 2 is not my favorite Star Wars film, but because it's still in the Star Wars, it still surpasses every film out there. I don't give a damn. It's necessary. It's necessary. Episode 3, man, Jar Jar Binks. What people don't know, this is the secret lore of Jar Jar Binks. Jar Jar is running the game. He was the biggest Sith Lord. He was calling the shots. Nobody knows Jar Jar Binks is actually running the whole shit. He got on the Senate. He played dumb, just like Yoda did. Yoda played dumb when he first met Luke, and then he revealed he was the strongest Jedi in the galaxy. Jar Jar Binks played dumb the whole time, pulled all the strings. If you notice little scenes, there's scenes where Senator Palpatine does different things, and you see Jar Jar, they cut to Jar Jar. When Jar Jar was playing, when they were attacking Naboo, he was like, ooh, oh my God, whoops, I slipped, ooh. That was all to throw everyone off. This nigga was killing droids left and right. You know, he was like, oh, whoa, whoa.
Kind of sounds like cooning he was.
No.
And then just like the franchise, you missed the focus of the best part. Why didn't they show none of that shit?
Because I'm so pissed off with Dion right now.
They just had a tap dance, and that was it. They didn't get none of this backstory in the movie.
Little Jamaican.
It's gonna come. They galaxy building. So some franchise world build, but great franchise galaxy build. You know what I'm saying? And that's what Star Wars is doing.
What? Okay. Let's break this down then. Let's really break this down. Let's rewind to which not the prequels, the first Star Wars. What the fuck are they doing? Run me through what's going on right in Star Wars 1.
Give me the outline of Star Wars 1.
We're gonna call it New Hope, to be clear.
Okay,
New Hope.
Yes.
Because right now y'all being disrespectful to the names of the films.
The
Star Wars 1. Nobody calls it Star Wars 1.
That's what I'm like, for
y'all sound like someone's mom saying, "Oh, you gonna play that Nintendo Genesis?"
Man, I say House Party 2. I don't say Pajama Jam. I don't say
and then we being honest.
Because there's no House Party universe. There's not a. It's not like, hey, I wonder what Tisha Campbell's character was doing. In
we all know in the black community, this is what it's called: Star Wars, Empire Strikes Back, The Last Jedi, or Return of the Jedi.
Oh.
That's what it's called in the black community. Don't nobody call it Star Wars: A New Hope. No, it's called Star Wars.
Yes,
that's it.
I don't know if I can agree with that, dog.
I don't. You're out of the community. You might as
call
well
your mama right now and ask her to name the 3 movies. She gonna say Star Wars, Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi. Did I get it right? And then the other 3 that came out with that little Jar Jar boy that was racist.
And Samuel Jackson.
Samuel Jackson. I like him in that
one.
I like him in that one. He was good in that one. They should bring him back. That's what you're gonna hear. But yeah, outline us the first one.
Okay. A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
You can read this off.
Who is the focus on? Who is the focus on of the first movie?
Wait.
You gotta go Google it. Who's the focus on?
It's on Luke. It's the story of Luke.
Okay. So what is Luke doing? Where is Luke in the first part?
Well, this is Luke's discovery. This is him. This is the introduction to the universe. This is everything.
Okay, so what is he doing?
Look at you. Can I just also say this? Can I say that it was never a New Hope? This was the first movie poster. It don't say nothing about no New Hope. Get your eyes up, niggas. Look, nigga. It says nothing about New Hope. This is how they was freestyling. They were freestyling this movie. I want both of y'all to Google Star Wars first movie poster. And when it came out,
I'm gonna give you a New Hope. It is a period of civil war. Rebel spaceships striking from a hidden.
Look up Star Wars first movie poster. They were scrambling trying to differentiate. They said, "Oh shit, we gotta do another one."
No. George Lucas intentionally released Episode 4 because he wanted to focus on the story of Darth Vader and his return to being a Jedi.
Where's his New Hope at?
Because my man, he didn't want to throw people off by just introducing a thing as Episode 4. People would be like, "Whoa, where's the other 3? I haven't seen the other 3." So he just said, "All right, I got to introduce this thing. I know it's my 4th film personally, me and my wife know. Oh, baby, you know this is the fourth one, right? Yeah, baby, I know this is the fourth one. Okay, this is the fourth one, but we gonna tell the people it's the first one, so we don't throw them off. Yeah, that would throw them off, baby. So he put him out and said, "This is the first Star Wars. This is my first Star Wars entry." But it's not the first Star Wars story. Hell, Episode 1 ain't even the first Star Wars story. You got the Old Republic. You got to go way back.
So in 1983, he is like, okay, we got a franchise, y'all. Now let's wait another 17 years to bring out Episode 1.
Yeah, he was waiting for the technology to catch up. We can't be mad at that. Like, nigga had a great idea. He's like, man, I can't be messing with these animatronic puppets all day. This CGI is about to be groundbreaking. You know, I got to make this stuff look as real as possible. And at the time, in 1999, when The Phantom Menace was released, that technology was groundbreaking. It was groundbreaking. It looked amazing.
It was fantastic. Yes.
Yep. And James Cameron took a page out of his book. He's like, he's been doing, well, it's been 38 years since the first Avatar came out?
Yeah.
Well, hold on now. Let's not
we don't know
kissing ass at James Cameron too much. This nigga been biting off of a lot of people, man.
I know. I'm just saying. If somebody lay a blueprint and people follow you, like that means that blueprint is definitely desirable. Somebody's like, hey, I like that.
But it's a blueprint with a story that's very vague.
What's the vagueness?
The vagueness is
on so many levels. If you just focus on the story of Luke, it's a classic. It's a coming of age film. It's a story about a hero, the rise of a hero. There's so many stories that are pocketed within just Star Wars. How can you be confused? A child knows what's happening in Star Wars.
Because most of the stuff I don't need to see. Why did I need to see Anakin racing in Tatooine? What the fuck did that have
because
to do with
that was
the
to show you that he was a force sensitive being. That like why this kid was racing against aliens. Aliens were the only people that really did pod racing. You had a few humans, but they were just night. You had a child that was strapped up and it was like, whoa, like he was showing that he had the skills to possibly be a Jedi.
All I know is this: my Chinese friends were very offended because they say they drive way faster than that when they were that age. So I wasn't that impressed. Hey, that's all I'm saying.
Your Chinese friends may be force sensitive.
Hey, I mean, if anybody got the force in real life, it would be them. I'm just throwing it out there. If anybody got the force,
Young Deuce, be honest with me. You mean to tell me New Hope and The Force Awakening ain't the same storyline?
All right, I'll give you that. I'll give you that. That it is similar, but I mean, again, it's still worked out. Like I said, as a Star Wars fan, like I said, yes. What are you talking about?
Here's the thing. I don't like the thing is I see how y'all say like, yo, it's so detailed, it's so many vivid stories, but there's such a balance of vagueness between this franchise. Like, how the hell did you construct? Let's just talk about it. How you construct a whole planet of destruction, and your weakness is shooting a laser that somehow bit the laws of physics and went into a shaft. Let's talk about that shit somehow, and destroyed the entire thing. And then if we could just start it out there too, in the newest edition. Since when humans can breathe into space, I don't know if that was Princess Leia's Jedi privilege or white privilege? Or which one allowed her ass to breathe in space and remain alive.
So you ever heard of a little thing called evolution? Like you said, the Force can evolve, bro.
Sit down, Will. Sit down. Listen to what Deuce says.
It's called the Force. You're trying to put rules to something that most of the galaxy doesn't even understand. So
I think you're both suffering from blunt force trauma right now.
Wow. I see what you did there. Princess Layup over here with the puns.
Right.
You know, first of all, it wasn't clear that Leia was even breathing in space. Okay, so she was outside the ship, and then she used the Force to put herself back in. But I didn't see her once go. No, she just went and then started moving herself.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all ain't seen that movie with Sandra Bullock and what happened when her skin got out in the exposed space?
Yeah.
Okay. So then
Yeah, Leia got Frosty on the face.
you got Frosty. Okay. So but wait.
Frosty on the
Wait,
face.
so are you upset at Star-Lord being able to, because he's a whole human. He went through the same exact thing. No force, no power.
No. Actually, he's part celestial, so that makes perfect sense.
You're right. We didn't talk about that.
And we ain't seen him do that shit ever since his
And
dad died.
he held an Infinity Stone.
So I don't know if that's celestial privilege or still white privilege.
So y'all good with the powers of an Infinity Stone, but the Force, that makes no sense.
Yeah, and even the sound of it. Oh, an Infinity Stone. Oh, an Infinity Stone. This one has power. Like
really, as compared to use the Force.
Yeah,
use the Force.
The
It sounds like I
Force.
got a shit.
It's mysterious.
Use the Force. Oh, shit, I'm trying to force it out. It's not coming. I think my
I forgot my Infinity Stone. Like, come on, how many girls in LA have Infinity Stones in their windowsill right now? Like, I'm gonna charge my Infinity Stones. Like,
how many people keep trying to use the Force in their relationships?
Hey, that sounds rapey right there. That sounds very rapey.
You will believe I didn't cheat on you.
that sounds like some Sith. Because you know what, the Jedi know that they ain't supposed to be dating in these streets because it's just too dangerous.
No, because they ain't got no game. That's why. And they pent up. Sith had all the ladies. Okay, that's why they joined. You didn't never see no women Jedi. Maybe one. Let me not throw that out there. Maybe one.
Okay. I'm gonna correct you where you're wrong. Ahsoka Tano.
I thought
she's
she
training.
Was Sith first. I thought
No. She's like non-binary. She's basically not Sith, not Jedi, but she was trained under Anakin.
Mm-hmm.
She's trained under. There was a lot of female Jedi. They were killed.
Ain't that Darth Vader?
Huh? Darth Vader's not a woman?
Ain't. Didn't you say she was trained by Anakin?
Oh, yeah, she's trained by Anakin, yeah.
Ain't that Darth Vader?
Yeah.
Dion, what is Darth Vader?
Anakin.
Yeah, and he a Sith?
That's why I hear
he went to the dark side. Ahsoka Tano. No, she ran from it. She fled because she was so sad that her master went to the dark side that it destroyed her. If you watch Star Wars Rebels, which I know you haven't because you guys don't dig that deep, Ahsoka Tano faces off against her master. You understand? Like, she faced off against him because she doesn't believe that his ways are right.
I mean, you could become a Crip and then say you're not a Crip no more, but you're still a Crip.
She wasn't training to be a Crip. She was training to be a cop. She was trained to be a cop, and then the cop that she was being trained by said, "Nah, I'm about to be a Crip." And she was like, "Well, I ain't on gang. I guess I'm not gonna be a cop."
No, he did that. It wasn't no I'm about. I've been this. Like, yo, I came in as a Sith. I'm letting you know I'm a Sith. Okay, I'm gonna still let you train me in the Sith ways.
No, he didn't train her in Sith ways. He trained her in Jedi ways. Yeah. This is after he succumbed to the Emperor and all that, he wasn't training nobody no more. He tried the next person that he was trying to train was Luke. He wanted to rule the galaxy as father and son with Luke. That's what he wanted. He didn't want to train Ahsoka. For all he knew, Ahsoka's dead. He don't know what's up with her. We might find out Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Obi-Wan Kenobi have so many masters though. He be like, yeah, you know, Yoda's my master, but he be still quoting from other people, like, you know what I'm saying? It's like,
yeah, Yoda was the original master. He's the OG. He trained Qui-Gon. He trained all them Bamas, and then he trained like even Luke was trained by multiple masters. Sometimes you need to go to different classes. Like, yo, my nigga in the green.
Let's see right there. Jedi's are hoes. That's what you letting us know. They hoes. They ain't
no, they're not.
Sith don't have none of the problems. Sith got one master. All of them had one person that trained them, and they ain't go over against nobody. Y'all
and they all lost.
Going, this See, my master,
when you only got one master, you don't have the full spectrum of what you can do, and that's why every Sith Lord lost. You know what I'm saying? But I also wanted to bring up Sith. Yes,
because at the end of this last movie, last I checked, Jedi's became Skywalkers, correct?
No,
not all of them.
Ain't that what they call themselves now, though? Like Skywalkers? That's what I got it from.
No.
So there's still Jedi around, or Jedi are gone.
No, Rey is a Jedi.
Okay, so it's just her. Last time I checked, there's still a shitload of Siths sitting around their whole fucking galaxy.
Well, we don't know of who, because remember, once you become Force sensitive, it kind of awakens. Because even if you go back, I think it was the Force Awakened. Technically, that kid who started moving the broom, we don't know his story yet, but he seemed to be Force sensitive. I don't know.
Finn is Force sensitive.
Finn is Force sensitive.
You know why? You know why? You know why Finn is Force sensitive? Because he got a taste of that Sith cocaine. That's why.
Hey.
That's why. When he was on that Death Star as a stormtrooper, took a little bump. And
Finn
that's
was
why
never on the Death
that.
Star. He was on Star Killer Base at most.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of which, why is that not put in here? How you make a dope video game with a dope ass character and don't never use him? Star Killer is the shit. Why does he not have a movie?
Who's Star Killer?
The dude from the video game. See,
I know you're talking
about.
But wait. But also they just started to expand the universe outside of Force. Like, so for the longest, every story was clearly Force related. And then since the Mandalorian and I mean, we can go into Clone Wars as well as everything like that. But it's like, for the most part, the main storyline has been Force sensitive. They're now exploring and getting out of people that are Force sensitive and going into that. So we may get into those storylines. Like, again, the universe is now expanding, and as we continue to go, we're getting more of those stories, because Mandalorian was top tier, Boba Fett was top tier. So it was like, we're getting into those moments where you're going to learn about a lot of those people.
But I see how y'all glossing over Solo though. I ain't gonna say nothing, but keep going.
Right? We gonna get to that. Let's
Look at that nigga scratching heads.
Let's back forth even further of how I feel like y'all dropped the ball on the fact of y'all scrambling, as Dion said, because it was like, yo, we got Star Wars, they want another one. Let's throw clones into the mix. I feel like this was the dumbest way to give out clones that was not necessary. Didn't nobody care that stormtroopers were clones? We got it. You got a whole army of clones. You did not need to press on this. Why did y'all press on Clone Wars so much?
Whoa. Because the Clone Wars were always discussed. The Clone Wars, like the time, they always talk about the Clone Wars because it was such an expansive amount of time. It was one of the biggest wars that has happened in the history of Star Wars. When we tune into Star Wars, we're starting in the middle. We're not really starting at the beginning of the leads up. We're starting at the major wars. It's almost like, hey, man, we don't really care about how World War I completely started. It's like we're starting at the middle of World War I. We're in the middle of World War II. We're in the middle of the Vietnam War. That's the way Star Wars works. We don't talk about the civil rights movement. We're not talking about all that. Like, if anything, Clone Wars is kind of like the civil rights movement that happened before the Vietnam War. It's like a time period that took place that was very important to what happened in Vietnam and all that. But we just jumped to the wars. The movies are basically the wars that happened.
Yeah, because you got to remember, like I said, once the Clone Wars happened, that's what shifted everything. It was like a shift in power because of that.
So when we return with Revenge of the Sith, the Clone Wars are already done. The Clone Wars had ended. And I don't know, what was your problem with the clones, Will?
He said we didn't need to know about the story of them.
I feel like the war was unnecessary. The only thing that came out of it was Boba Fett.
Oh, you got to know about the clones, because if you understand that Jango Fett, being a Mandalorian or trained understanding it, that he's one of the fighters. They basically took the DNA of the best fighter in the galaxy and made an entire army. They based all of their troops off of the best fighting DNA in the galaxy. Boba Fett is technically a clone himself. He's not even really Jango Fett's kid. He's really just a clone that they said slow down his maturing process so that he has a regular ass life.
Can we also talk about that? Because I really think y'all be throwing around this whole greatest thing on Star Wars a little too much. Because y'all be talking about, man, he's so great, and they die fucked up like they were not trained. Boba Fett fell in a hole.
Yeah.
With a jetpack. I don't even know how you do that.
Oh,
I don't know how that happens. Anakin literally, the baddest motherfucker in the galaxy, didn't know how to step footing and fell in lava and now got to wear an oxygen suit.
I think Han Solo shot Boba Fett's jetpack.
Mm-hmm.
And then Boba Fett, he went to the Sarlacc. I mean, like, dog, the Sarlacc, the reason they were out there was to throw people in the Sarlacc to give you a slow, painful death. All right.
You don't have, as the greatest warrior out there, you don't have no fail safe for a monster you've been dealing with for the last 30 years. Just saying.
He ain't been dealing with that. He ain't been dealing with the Sarlacc. We don't know that he's done with the Sarlacc.
That's not what the book of Boba Fett was making it seem like, guys. This is where these plot holes is coming in.
Book of Boba Fett.
He seemed like he had Tatooine held down. He knew where everything was at. He knew what.
But that's after he got out of the Sarlacc. You got to understand the timeline. Book of Boba Fett starts literally the moment after he gets out. That shows how powerful he is. Everyone else, you saw inside the Sarlacc pit, there was dead stormtroopers. There was all the dudes that didn't make it. Boba Fett was like, you know what? We can do this. We can get out of there.
Yeah.
He got himself out of a Sarlacc. If that ain't gangster, I don't know what it is, bro.
Are y'all really standing behind this franchise?
Yes,
100%.
100%. If I'm an alien that came to Earth, had a gun to your head, was like, you better give me the best motherfucking franchise ever. I'm gonna give you these 4 options: Marvel Universe, Fast and the Furious, Harry Potter, goddammit, motherfucking goddammit shit, Star Trek or Star Wars. Give me the goddamn answer.
I knew you were gonna say Star Treks. Yeah. Star Wars, yes, I'll absolutely do those alien Star Wars. And you know what? Then they'd understand. Wow, everyone could get along. Star Wars Galaxy, they're trying to show people like, yo, like even with Yoda, like don't be judging a book by its cover, man. They have black people hanging with droids, hanging with aliens, hanging with Wookiees, they're like, man, we don't care as long as you a good individual.
That was like 1999 though. The 78 version, they didn't have a lot of black people around. It was kind of like
Dion, we're gonna die.
It was different times.
We're gonna die.
They had Samuel L. Jackson with a purple lightsaber.
You had 3 black people in that whole franchise.
I'm gonna go on record and say every single stormtrooper, most of the stormtroopers were black.
Nope.
I'm gonna say most of the stormtroopers were black. We just couldn't see their face.
That's it.
No, because you're missing Deborah Wilson's character. Why can't they think of her name right now? Fuck. Why? Oh, fuck. Junda. She's a Jedi.
Well, you had makeup on. That don't count.
No, she was in the video game, but those are part of the lore. That is part of it.
We talking about these damn.
I want to say, well, I think all the stormtroopers potentially could have been black. You know, people get
that's
to have
even
to enlist.
Worse because they can't fight.
And
they can't even shoot lasers good.
They in whiteface too.
Yeah, that's horrible. If they were dancing.
Wait a minute. But the reason why is they're being impeded by the suit, right? The suit is taking away their power because you see, as soon as Finn broke the mold, he became that nigga. See, and that's all it is. We just gotta wake him up. We just gotta we gotta Uncle Charles them. We gotta Uncle Charles them.
So what you telling me is, so dude, this what you telling me. Dude.
Yeah, wake him up. One stormtrooper at a time.
So this what you telling me. This galactic empire that's taking over this whole galaxy is making machine planets that got fucked up fail safes, impeding on their soldiers by making them less and weak to where they can't fully fight, and yet somehow it's still kicking this galaxy's ass.
Well, you got to understand the clone army; those were the trained soldiers. Yeah. The stormtroopers were just, hey man, who wants to enlist in the Empire? So you have some regular people.
They have waves. So it's like you have the first wave, and that's why they're able to take over, because you get hit with wave after wave after wave, and you think that they just like these stormtroopers, but then the next wave come, and then so it's like the reason why they have so much power is sheer numbers and the amount of like I said of empires that they have crumbled. Like they're just taking over, just like any good army who's taking over. You have sheer numbers, and it's a ranking system too. You got the stormtroopers know they stormtroopers, but if you get cold with it, if you get cold, you a death trooper, fam. You wear all black, you a death trooper. G. You get a little cape. You get a little cape, man.
Yeah, you get a little.
there are 4 of you in the entire galaxy.
And then you got and then you're not mentioning the Imperial Guards that wear all red.
Man,
there's rankings to this. There's levels. Stormtroopers is like
one of the ones that just held the flags. I ain't never seen them in action ever.
The Imperial Guards.
I thought them were the dudes like in the British where they just stand like this.
Oh, come on.
They can fight.
Cold. I thought it was cold. Like I was like, yo, that gotta be a bad movie.
You kind of saw a fight in Last Jedi. I mean, those were Snoke's Imperial Guards, but they were basically the same idea. They're royal guards. They wouldn't be next to the Emperor if they couldn't fight.
Their ass whooped though. They got their ass whooped. Y'all just letting me know that the Empire stroke game is not official.
Hilarious.
And if it's not, what does that say about the Republic that's fighting them? Because you letting them kick y'all ass. But that's what let me know the Force drug game is not up to par either. That's why you need some of that Sith Force cocaine. I feel like if the Jedi's got that, this will even y'all battles. And I'm just throwing it out there, y'all need some racism in y'all franchise.
Come on.
I'm just gonna be honest. Ain't no racism in y'all franchise. There's no hate. I don't feel no hate in your franchise.
Bro, they literally hate on anybody from Tatooine.
First of all, y'all see what Tatooine look like. Anybody gonna hate on that. It's hot.
That's racism.
That's classism.
It's planetism.
That's planetism. Yeah, that's different. That's different. You see, y'all need to put that in the story rather than y'all doing it on the side and not letting Finn become a real Jedi.
So what about Rebel? What about the Rebel scum? They call them scum.
Mm-hmm.
That's just broad. Like if I just went and did some scummy shit right now, I'd
but they don't say it, bro. They call it for there's a specific group of people.
Scum is like saying you bitch ass nigga.
Right.
Yeah, but that's universal. Ain't no
rebel bitch ass nigga.
Ain't nobody. What's the slur word for a hut? Like what's the nigga for them? When they be like, I know he just didn't call me that. I know he just did not call me that.
Well, I don't know. I don't speak Huttese, but that's the language. But I'm sure there's a word because they don't. They talk trash. They talk trash about the Hutts.
I'm gonna say this right now. It's gonna piss y'all off.
Okay.
Here we go. Listen. The idea, the premise of X-Men is better than Star Wars.
Oh, facts.
Like that right there, when you say racism, Will, that right there, that is the epitome of we should coincide with them. Nah, man, we're too powerful. We have to take over. That is an incredible storyline.
That story is the same thing as the sequel trilogy. It's Rey and Kylo Ren. It's basically Martin Luther King and Malcolm X.
No. That's two siblings fighting over some shit. That's Bridgerton.
Hold on.
Don't do that.
But also that is an unfair comparison because if X-Men, yes, it's more so memories to the civil rights with Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. Star Wars is not that, so you can't compare it to that.
Give me the elevator pitch. Give me the elevator pitch of what Star Wars is about.
A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
It's too much, man. It's too much to digest, man.
It's too. Thank you. Too much.
There is no try.
That did not tie into what the main story was. Like again, I still don't know what the main plot was when they went to go blow up the Death Star. Like, what was it to just stop the Death Star? Because it was like, yo, they already firing up. Why didn't y'all been go stop this?
It was to stop the Empire.
Yeah, bro. It's a whole empire taking over the galaxy.
So why isn't that the focus? Why we have so many of these other side stories that we didn't really need to see? Like a lot.
Tell me one side story we didn't need. Tell me one side.
I did not need none of that Tatooine story. I did not need none of that. I did not need Luke to go in the swamp with Yoda to go do whatever kind of dirty shit they was going to do. Baby.
That's why he got trained to be a Jedi.
Yeah,
Tatooine
he did training. If the ship thing right here with this, that was good for me.
Tatooine's the home planet of Anakin. It's the home planet of Luke Skywalker. It's the home planet of a lot of people. A lot of people originate from Tatooine that are in the galaxy.
So Will, you just wanted pure action straight towards the Death Star. You didn't want any character build, any world building.
Because the thing is, I'll be honest with you, They didn't build no character for me. I'm just gonna be honest. And then the ones they built character for, they didn't highlight. Now you put all this spotlight on this dude, Luke Skywalker, to go through all these planets in training to what? Shoot a laser in a hole to blow up the stuff and prevent the galaxy for like 2 more days before the rest of these people come back. And here's my thing. If they cool with killing, why did you not go kill the people bankrolling this shit? Why was that? Y'all talking about
because that's the corruption, and that's the corruption.
Paid all of this
okay,
stuff?
let me explain something. And this is why a lot of people don't realize the Rise of Skywalker is very important, because they show Canto Bight, the arms dealers, they deal to the resistance and they deal to the First Order. The people at the top, they're literally betting on these wars. They're like, I put money on this side, I put money on this side. Well, we're gonna give them some weapons, we're gonna give them some weapons. The people at the top run the whole thing. The Emperor is dapping up these dealers, these arms dealers, to get all these dark Star Destroyers and all that. But the resistance, they're able to get some stuff from them too. So these Canto Bight, these casino bammers, these mafia people, they're just like, hey man, whatever, man, we don't care, but we're gonna deal to you, we're gonna deal to you. That's the corruption that people don't even realize.
And you know what that sounds like? That sounds like the world in real life. I'm just saying.
And you know what else it really sounds like? The Sith got that hard cocaine. That's why they getting the good shit. And the Jedi's got that bullshit Huckabee and only getting what they can. That's
Can I
what
tell
they
you?
Jedi's.
Can I tell you a wasted character that lasted for 3 movies? A wasted character that they just he pushed the story back. Finn. How did he contribute with the story at all? Granted, he's black. He's black. Thank you.
That's their one flaw.
Why are you in here?
For
you don't
me,
help the story at all.
That's their one flaw.
Single-handedly shitted on stormtroopers. No, I'm not gonna lie. He single-handedly made all stormtroopers look like shit.
Here's what happened, because he was supposed to be the focal point, and then they shipped that. To me, if I had to be honest, the one flaw that I have is that they didn't lean into the Finn storyline like they were supposed to. Everything, the writing was on the wall and everything like that, and it was supposed to, and they shift focus because of a shift of directors, because of JJ Abrams. And so if that didn't happen, we would have gotten the true storyline of how that third trilogy was supposed to be. But that is the one flaw that I will agree with you guys on.
Give him a series, man.
He might get a series, and I wouldn't be surprised if he gets a series. So they left it up for that. And realistically, what Finn did do for the Star Wars franchise is that he humanized the stormtroopers.
Mm-hmm.
He made you understand why people even enlist in the Empire. Because you just see stormtroopers as these dumb, non-human. You don't have any connection to them. At that point, I go back and watch the original trilogy. I'm like, yo, these are a bunch of Finns running around just taking orders, bro.
Yeah, but
his helmet never fell off. We always thought they was robots. I never thought it was humans on them.
No, I think you'd hear them talk every now and again. So that's why I was like,
robots
it started making me. Yeah, they would talk every now and again. That's why it always made me think of The Office. but the only thing Finn really did was, out of the 3 movies at the end, was like, you should go back to being a stormtrooper. You should. Yeah,
because what it was, again, what they were trying to do before they shift focus. Again, when they normalized the stormtrooper to show somebody like Finn, who was force sensitive, was supposed to be the game changer. Like, wait a minute, hold up, and because like up until this point, like you said, a lot of people thought stormtroopers were just robots. They thought they were just mindless, you know what I'm saying, soldiers. So like that storyline, again, that's their biggest fault, that where Star Wars let me down on was that. But outside of that, the universe I'm still rocking with.
Imagine being Finn. They telling you we got a whole series of movies about to be based around you. What? We got no director? No worries. Tell them what I want. What? I'm about to be.
hey, shout out to John Boyega. He ain't been fucking with Star Wars since then though. Like he's been very vocal about that.
He was like, wait a minute. This chick only been in 1 movie. Like, I've been in those. Like, wait a minute, hold on now.
You said the white folks ain't fucking with me? They what?
Wait a minute, what?
This is gonna bring the franchise down?
Well, what Samuel L. Jackson say? What did you say about it?
Wait, so am I still getting a lightsaber or no? Like what?
Am I at least?
So you gonna get to touch one. You gonna get to touch a lightsaber because it's not gonna be yours.
Like I chose my color and everything. Like I'm ready.
I had my force grip down. I've been practicing. Like I was ready. Like
I was in the mirror. I was,
right. I was gonna hit it with the.
This is a little bit too aggressive. Maybe if I do it this way.
I'm gonna hit him with something like a little Chicago, you got me.
All right.
Hey, so who else is black people in here? Lupita. She's in makeup? They don't even show her face at all. So I'm the only black person.
Hold on, wait. And then they just took her out and it's all CG. She just voicing from home? So I'm the only one up here.
So I'm sweating.
Oh, okay. I'm the only one that got on this flight that looked like me.
So literally the 12 years of slave. Okay, gotcha. I see what you're trying to do.
But you could be a pilot. You could definitely go be a pilot.
A pilot.
I don't think you've ever flown it as a stormtrooper, but somehow you're a pilot now.
So I'm the Tuskegee Airman of the Star Wars, right?
Yeah, we just experimenting with you with the Force.
But guess what? You're gonna have an Asian girlfriend.
Didn't she die?
Who won't be that attractive? Just kind of
mildly attractive. Because you don't got good taste yet. You just out.
You'll take whatever you can get.
Yeah.
And fuck your hairline. We're just gonna figure it out. It's good.
And isn't there a planet with barbers? There's no planet with just barbers.
No, because all you got
lightsaber cuts. No lightsaber cuts.
And we're only going to shoot you like this, reacting to everything in every movie. Because
that's it. Keep your head on the swivel the whole time.
Oh shit!
Do I get to smash the white girl?
We're gonna get suggestible looks to where it looks like y'all might smash.
We're gonna set up the thing we thought was your brother, the brother character. No, he's gonna end up being able to smash.
That's what we're gonna do. Listen, we know people are pissed about the Luke and Leia thing. Let's give it another run. Let's try it one more time. Just one more. Let's see in this age if they're gonna like it. Just throw it out.
So we're a little bit more progressive now, so let's see if they rock with it now.
I can't believe y'all really said if aliens came down, that's the franchise that y'all going with.
100%,
bro.
He said that he threw the MCU in there.
Yeah,
that man
it's aliens who's already up there. Like we don't do this shit. What is this? You mocking us? Is this a stage play? What the fuck is this?
And now they even more pissed. But I know that nigga Jar Jar. He owe me $3.
No, but the MCU is narcissistic because in Star Wars, if you have a different alien, they speak their own alien English. How the hell all the aliens in the MCU know English? Everyone knows English?
No. Okay, so hold on.
That's a good one.
Now that's where I think I can give you credit for because I could be wrong on this. But wasn't it your franchise that had it to where everybody wears responders so they can be able to understand each other's languages?
Ooh,
some characters do that.
I'm not 100% sure.
Not all of them.
Okay, well, no, that's because they explain that in Guardians of the Galaxy. Basically, there's this thing that's either in the back of their ear or right here that allows them to understand one another because all of them are speaking different languages. Like Gamora, Drax, the rest of them, like Guardians of the Galaxy explained that. And James Gunn said that's how they can all tell each other's different.
What about Thor? Thor be speaking
English? It's the same thing. It's like it's a universal transmitter.
Oh, they just don't cut to no shots of the back of no one's neck, so you never see it, right?
No, it's just not. But again, it's just lure. That's what I'm saying.
That's convenient as hell.
I thought they got that from y'all franchise.
It's like tucked under their earlobe, and it's really tiny, right? It might be.
Okay, well, it's okay. Well, so you expected me to believe this dude Han Solo, who grew up in the straight gutter, speak 83 languages across the whole fucking galaxy?
He's a scammer. Of course, you learn the languages. Come on, he's a Nigerian princess and learning all the languages to scam all people through emails.
Man, y'all speak robot. Don't give me that shit.
Bro, y'all speak robot. Right now. How does everybody understand Chewbacca, but we can't? That nigga said, what do you mean?
Ben just met this dude.
Wait.
Ben just met him and know what he's saying.
Okay, but
that's so convenient.
There's dog owners in this world who swear they know what Lil Chet's saying. They know what they dogs is saying. It's the same thing, dog.
But they have a whole sentence. Wait, hold on. The Millennial Falcon is in a tune-up? What do you mean?
I ain't never seen Barbara Ann tell little Susie Pooh to go catch a body while we're in the fucking warehouse.
But y'all
get out and he complied.
But y'all heard somebody say, "What? Timmy is falling down a well. Where is he at?"
Lassie really was talking like that.
We saw the whole movie. We saw the whole movie where a dog was in the NBA busting ass like he was LeBron James and Kobe. Like, don't tell me.
Once again, ain't none of them pull out a blicky and start shooting people on sight. Ain't none of them scream, "Hey, Han Solo," and that's on your left. Yeah, I got it. Appreciate it.
And no one has ever spoke to him back in that language. They just like, "Hey, Chewbacca, go home and do blah 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 blah." They ever say,
and he walk
give
off
us the caption
because he knows English. Like Chewbacca doesn't have the vocal capacities to speak English, but he speaks Wookiee. But people who understand Wookiee can speak back to him in English. He understands English. He just can't say it back. It's like I don't speak dog.
Okay, I'll give you that because of group. I'll give you that because of group from the MCU because it is the same thing. Yeah. I will say that because it's the same thing. But for that though, at least they explain on it about it. Because when they said to Thor, it's like, you understand Groot is like, yeah, we took it as an elective when we were in school. They at least put the lore in of how they learn the stuff. It's like, yo, the fact all these people understand these languages, like what's the dudes out in the sand, the I don't want
Tusken Raiders.
The Tusk. Yeah, the Tusk. How the hell they understand what they saying? Who wrote that language down and then just started teaching it?
Well, somebody had to. If this whole nation of people know it, somebody.
And the whole reason they have C-3PO is because he's a protocol droid that knows over 1 million languages. They have him just in case.
So everybody in this galaxy is smart. They got everybody knows like 97 of these languages growing up and stuff, but could nobody think to put a top on the upper part of the Death Star so a physics bending laser wouldn't go down and then blow the whole thing up?
A top, like just a screw on top, just a yeah. All right,
but again, let's just really imagine this. Like, let's say we sitting in here, we didn't all went in on the Death Star. This shit cost $286 trillion to make. Y'all then came in here and told me and Dion, the Death Star is destroyed. How the fuck it get destroyed? Wait a minute. What? What you mean destroyed? Like destroyed, or like?
As it ran into
because Jyn Erso's father intentionally made a flaw in the Death Star because he didn't like the project he was working on. That was the whole premise of Rogue One.
So you mean
that's the whole thing.
After 7 movies has passed, they had to fix it with that. Got it.
Hold on,
and they fixed the fuck out of that boy.
You mean but you mean to tell me though, did nobody in that whole empire go over his blueprints before it started getting built?
If he's the smartest dude, the smartest engineer, and he tells you like, it's straight. Nobody's gonna be like, because what? Like, you think a stormtrooper's gonna stop him? Like, hey man, I know I'm just a stormtrooper, but this seems a little faulty. Like no one's going.
And here's the thing: it wasn't just a random hole. He disguised it as the thermal exhaust, so it looked like it served a purpose to be open. People just didn't realize that was the weak point.
Great point.
It's like why is it a red button next to my my volume in my car? Oh, that is the automatic explosion. Why is it here?
But see, it wasn't a button. See, that's what I'm saying.
It wasn't a button.
That's what y'all gave to pop culture.
No,
that's what y'all gave.
It's
similar. Like, yo, I got this awesome ass weapon.
I got
look, don't push this button next to it because it's gonna destroy everything we done built. And I ain't gonna put a case around it either.
Nah, it's similar to your gas tank on your car. Your gas tank on your car it serves a purpose to fuel the car. The exhaust, the thermal exhaust, it serves a purpose. But if you shoot the gas tank, that whole car exploding.
Yeah, but my gas tank is covered.
It's not a tank and it's not a weapon.
It's a thermal exhaust.
I can see if you had like a bazooka, but if you push the button on top, it explodes on you. But like if your car was a weapon, an indestructible weapon that had a hole in it.
It's not a hole. It's a
thermal exhaust.
That's what
Man, the Death Star got shot in the asshole and blew up. That's what y'all did. Somebody was in there being freaky. Yeah, that's what happened. Somebody got probed, and now y'all out $3,200 trillion because somebody can't build some shit right.
How'd they wipe CP3? Was it CPO? What's his name?
C3PO.
They wiped his memory in RTD2. But
RTD, man, you are someone's mom right now.
There's a lot of numbers and letters, man. They wiped his memory.
Don't mind him, BB-8.
And then, but when in the first movie, he didn't recognize him. So from episode 3 to 4, when they see him, he should be like, "Hey, homie, yes, the robots got their memory wiped, but what is his name?
Darth Vader?
No, the main dude, the Luke. Oh, you're killing me.
Sounds like you don't have a solid
Obi-Wan Kenobi. How did he not recognize his robots? Yes,
he didn't want to be hot. He didn't want to be hot. He was going by a whole different alias. He didn't know what the droids were sent for. For all he knows, Darth Vader could have sent his droids to find Obi-Wan. So he had to play this whole thing. He's playing this character of Ben Kenobi. He wasn't even Obi-Wan anymore when he was in Tatooine.
Right.
And let's really get on that. Let's really start on that. Because let's really again, the Jedi's ain't shit. Something was up with this dude the whole time, okay? Because if we all just gonna be honest, Obi-Wan Kenobi ain't dead. They staged that fight. That's what it was. He went talk to Darth Vader and was like, "Look here, I'm on the run. I done done some shit. Jedi Order is not gonna like. This what I need from you. Because how is everybody else getting sliced in half and this dude just disappears?"
He set himself up. He said, "All right, I'm about to give myself to become a Force ghost." And that's what you have to do. When you realize you're about to die, you can die and not become a Force ghost. But Obi-Wan, he's mastered it. So he peacefully bowed out like a samurai, took the honorary death, and became a Force ghost because he knew he'd be stronger in the Force than he could ever be as a man. That's why he helped Luke. That's why Luke was able to hit the damn things, because Obi-Wan said, "Luke, use the Force." He wouldn't have been able to talk to him in a spaceship if he was inside the Death Star. He was able to talk to him through the Force outside in space while he was in an X-Wing. Boom.
But is he
hold on. Here's naked? But here's the plot hole in that. Here's the plot hole in that.
Because his robe fell down. So I want to know if he's naked.
You let out Luke Skywalker did the same thing. You let out one big fart and then you become a Force ghost.
Here's my thing though, Brody, which is another plot hole in that. Yoda died and became a Force ghost, and there was a body to get rid of. Qui-Gon Jinn became a Force ghost, and there was a body to get rid of. Walk me through what Obi-Wan did that his masters could not do.
He learned some other shit that we're going to learn in the new Obi-Wan series. He learned how to become a Force ghost without even having to have his body around so they could fuck around with it and draw on it.
See, this is what lets me know Star Wars be biting. What happened was Thanos got them Infinity Stones in Star Wars and snapped that nigga right at the time when that was going to happen.
Your little heavy
no one
have
else
no
has
room.
done this in the franchise. No one else has just completely evaporated right on the brink of death.
It was convenient. Very convenient.
Very convenient.
But
the only thing left is the clothes.
Outside of the movie, I remember watching somebody said that actor didn't want to do that movie at all. He did it because they were paying him much. And he said, "This is my last time being a part of this movie." So I'm rooting for you.
He was actually a British actor. So that was actually one of the most famous people on there. And so a lot of people may not know, like, they didn't pay him. They actually gave him a percentage of Star Wars. I think it was like 7% or whatever they make. And it still goes to this day. So even after like the original Obi-Wan passing, his family is still getting paid off of everything that's Star Wars.
His name's Alec Guinness.
Yeah. He was like, I don't want to do this movie. He's like, "Come on, man, please. We need a big name in this movie." He's like, "All right, I'm doing one movie and I'm done." And that was a way to get rid of him.
They held a robe up and dropped that shit. I ain't never seen that shit like that.
Ever Never in all the Star Wars. They've never somebody said, I'm gonna do the same thing Obi-Wan can do. Yeah.
Nigga, even the CW be having me scratching my head sometimes, but that part, I was like, yeah.
I would love to see him running around naked like
y'all want this to be slapstick so bad.
They're like, excuse me, Darth Vader, there's a naked dude running down the Imperial Highway. What do you want us to do with this guy?
You know what Darth Vader gonna say? He gonna go, just use the Force.
He is down this hallway.
Well, guys, they told us to go use the Force. Anybody else got to power up?
Man, why you keep on equating the Force to crack, dog? There's no upside to crack. There's no upside to crack.
Cocaine. There's cocaine. The Jedi's got crack.
There's no upside to cocaine.
Hey, when you a Sith Lord, clearly it is. They got money. They get to build as much shit as they want. Because you ain't never seen, what's funny about it is, why does the Republic not got no big ships like the Empire? The Empire got these massive ass ships. I don't never see the Republic pull up in none of that.
Well, the Republic used to have all the ships, but when it switched over to the Empire, they stole all the Republic's big commodities. Anything that the rebellion acquired was through. They had to steal. They had to be underground. You know, they had to build themselves.
Also, the Force is meth instead of crack. It's meth.
Well, I gotta
you got a hard life if your Force is meth. I see why. That's why Tatooine is like that now. Oh, okay, it makes sense why everybody come from Tatooine because everybody be meth.
Broady, I will say this: the only story with Star Wars that I really got attached to was the stubbornness of Anakin Skywalker, like trying his best to like win over, and he was like, "Come on, man!" I was like, "Don't fight me, man!" Like this, like he's like, I was like, "Oh man, that right there!" I was like, he was being mad stubborn
because he felt like Obi-Wan betrayed him. He's like, "Dog, you set me up, man. Like you supposed to be." He's like, "You supposed to be my friend." He said, "Anakin, you are a brother to me, man." He's like, "No, you're not. I hate you."
I love that part right there.
But you see that right there, though, like back to Dion's point, though, in just all seriousness, I know, we are joking on a whole bunch of stuff, but it's like that should have continued to be the focal point.
Yeah.
Like I feel like they should have started with that. Instead of
Obi-Wan is about to be about that. They're gonna have flashback sequences with Anakin. Hayden Christensen is gonna be on the Obi-Wan series, so there's gonna be a lot of that story being told.
But see, that's now. And I'm glad we're getting it now. But it's just like, imagine if that's how it started off. So by the time you get that third movie, it's like, yo, I need the fourth one to see him as Darth Vader.
To see him convert?
Like
1, 2, and 3 was a great story.
Yeah, and then from 3,
like it.
Yeah, but then 3, 4, and 5, there's a lot of stuff that can be let out. Like it's like, yo, there's a lot of fluff that y'all can take out to focus on just that, and then that would have made this story so great. I get, like you said, they were building a galaxy, and it did work because I know we just making fun of it because it did work because of the fan lore that came behind it and what it was able to give these other places that may have been overlooked in the film. Like y'all said, like with these other planets, with I don't want to say the Jedi chick that's the Ronin. What's the Ronin Jedi? What's her name?
Ahsoka Tano.
Yeah, like we wouldn't have never known anything like that in those movies, but thanks to them trying to at least establish that galaxy and that universe, it allowed fans to be able to make fan fiction about that to where people really started taking it seriously and started making it canon into the
Ahsoka's getting a series too.
Yes, she is. I heard. So that's what I'm just like, I'll give y'all that on building that part. But I think just like how Dion said it, like for us, it's just a lot going on.
Yeah.
I mean, but that's it with any franchise that has a universe, because the same thing you can say about Marvel. Marvel has a whole lot going on as well, but you got to watch, you got to be invested. You got to watch the properties, you got to watch the movies, the shows to get the full scope of the story. Star Wars, they did play catch up and fill in all those plot holes, but they're executing it still at a top level right now. And like I said, if I'm being realistic, it is 1A, 1B with Star Wars MCU. You know, but I'm leaning Star Wars 1A more just because of a lot of the themes that they go over. The whole, like I said, dealing with the dictatorship of the Empire and just and how impactful they were. Like, because you know, and also with it being, like I said, for me, like I said, I didn't read anything before Star Wars, so I am strictly getting into Star Wars based off of Star Wars and then learning the lore after that, and then reading things. Where Marvel had the MCU had a base off of Marvel comics, so that's why Star Wars to me is far more impressive, because this is a story that they're building in the moment. We are seeing them literally building the lore and fleshing out the story in the moment right now with the shows, and adding and taking characters and turning them into, like, giving you the backstory of those characters. And it's one of the reasons why I love the Star Wars universe, because like I said, you're getting introduced to just new characters or old characters, but getting stories about them. We theorize all the time. We talk about certain things like Dragon Ball Z. It's like, man, I would love to see how Vegeta won over Bulma, or you know, and shit like that. So it's like Star Wars is, they're taking that and saying, okay, what do the fans want? All right, you want this? Let's flesh it out and let's do it for real. And I love that about the franchise.
Hey man, it's if Star Wars is like if it started off with Infinity War. It was like,
that makes sense. That makes sense.
Exactly. That's perfect. Yep, exactly.
It's a lot to digest. It's a great story, but it's a lot to digest. But it was like, wait. How did he get here? Where did his powers come from? So it was a lot of that. So if they had individual stories at first, which they didn't know, George Lucas didn't know. Mm-hmm. If they had individual stories, and then 2002, we finally got the merge of all the characters, their backstories. Whew, so much better.
And this will be my one of my final points. DC tried to do that, and they failed at it. See, everybody can't do it. It's only a select few. DC tried to start right. They tried to start smack dab in it, and it didn't work. But Star Wars successfully did it.
Well, hold on. That's a little different, just because of franchise. Because it's the same thing like you said with Marvel. They have
I know what
lineage to go off of.
You're right.
They just didn't execute it right. Yeah, so that was really it. But like you said, there hasn't really been anyone that has come straight off the dome with it, and created something so massive, like that. But I will say, the fans did that shit. I'm not crediting George Lucas. Okay, it was like the fans are like your mama when you cooking. You like, yo, I'm a cook for the first time, and I have no idea what I'm making. So I'm gonna make spaghetti, and I already got the pot too hot. And so the fire's up a little too hot as well. Water's boiling. I got to throw these noodles in there. And like, oh shit, the noodles are getting stirred up, right? Looks like we got something cooking. But let me make sure I got to go. I got to go add the meat. Now I'm making bad decisions. Let me put a little too much seasoning in there. Let me throw a little Jar Jar Binks in there. Oh shit, let me scrape a little off the pot. Now the noodles are burning. I think I'm messing up. Let me go try to get some water for the fire extinguisher go out. And then here comes the fans, yo mama, that comes and fix all your stuff with Rogue One and all your family.
Hey, but at the end of the day, once mom come fix it, everybody happy.
Everybody happy.
Everybody happy.
Will, that is a great, like making spaghetti in one pot. The meat, the spaghetti, the sauce. Minute one, there's like put the ground beef in there. Just it's like, can we cook it first? Nah, it's like it's the recipe. It's the recipe, but can we separate them cook first? Like, nah, recipe.
But like I said, you still end up happy and fulfilled. You still got a full
you will not. You have
no. I'm talking about
in your spaghetti.
No, I'm talking about in Will's analogy of mom coming to fix it. When Rogue One came and fixed it and everything, you still happy and fulfilled.
And to find my final thought on it, it's why Star Wars is one of the best spaghetti westerns that has ever been created.
A great space western.
No, a great spaghetti western.
Spaghetti western. Space spaghetti western.
Okay, I'll give y'all that.
So you said it for us, Will. You just said it. You said it's like making spaghetti. He made a spaghetti western.
He did.
I know you just J.R. Smith this whole thing. You gave us the game.
not really, because at the end of the day, although we said, because I'm not gonna knock the franchise. You see, I got the shirt on, but at the end of the day, as Dion said, them aliens come down. Star Wars ain't nowhere near what the fuck I'm finna get these aliens.
Put on Star Wars. You serious? You sure? Yes.
Nah, hold on. Golden Girls. If we just going down fucking Golden Girls. Watch that. Thank you for being a friend. Thank you so much. Dion, your closing statement in this.
I'm really rooting for Star Wars. I know what they're doing. I know why Disney bought it. I appreciate the fan base. I would love to write something that has this immense, respective, supportive fan base. I do have a book, Voyage of Truth. I don't know if it's around here. And like I said, I created that to have that sort of Star Wars universe. I love what they're doing with the series. I don't have anything bad to say about where they're going, but I just feel like it was groundbreaking. It's the first of its kind. But I can't say it's the best thing ever happened to cinema. So I'm supporting it, but like I said, I think y'all hyping it up too much. That's it. Closing statement.
And there y'all have it, ladies and gentlemen. That has been the Straight Out of a Comic Book debate. And again, as we said, y'all let us know in the comments below who won today. Was it me and Dion and saying Star Wars wasn't shit, or was it Young Deuce and Broady, the Joker, in defending the Star Wars franchise? You let us know in the comments below. But as we want y'all to all know, this is a May the 4th be with you edition. So we do want to say happy May the 4th be with you to all of those that are Star Wars fans, even those that are on the fence about Star Wars, because whether you do have feelings about it on our side or on Young Deuce's side, always remember though, it was, like Dion said, very groundbreaking. It did change the culture for people, and it did inspire an entire folk of people to be able to live their imagination onto the big screen. And so for that, George Lucas, thank you for them potholes.
Yep.
Not so much.
Star Wars is my space. Star Wars is my
May the
space.
Force be with you guys.
Come on,
Now you see, I thought that spaghetti was the one that was gonna stick. But MySpace,
it was groundbreaking. It's groundbreaking, but they started fucking up.
Sorry, that was outstanding. That's just if you know the lineage of MySpace too, after the MySpace turned to straight music, and after that, boy.
MySpace had when they started giving us the layouts, we can figure out how to and then things was off.
It was off.
I'm not agreeing with you.
Start putting code in. It was like
You try to click on something, you like, I can't click on it, man.
The person's face be like this. You be scrolling up like on Twitter. We'll be all off center. Like
I had my shit in the whole mother box. That motherfucker wouldn't even open. It just showed you this, and you couldn't click. It's like I can't see your page. Oh, hold on, I put something in wrong.
Right.
How you go to default? Let me get back.
what's this icon over the text? We can't see. You got a gift just moving over top of your text.
It's like a top 5 upside down and shit.
Like why you got a top?
Why ain't in your top 8, man? What's up? We beefing now, nigga? We beefing? Oh my bad, man.
Hey, bro, how you get a top 14? I didn't even know they
Right,
did
that's
this.
like they started adding more. Niggas started having top 32s. Like, fam, you
How
know
you
32.
get that? My shit only go in certain numbers by 5. How you get that?
How do I get a top 11, nigga? What happened? How did the odd number?
I had to have one more put on that page, man. I couldn't not have them on there.
I could have just do 10.
Hey y'all, I gotta make moves though. I appreciate it.
Oh, yeah.
All right, brother.
Yes,
indeed,
man.
man.
All right, y'all.
Yes, indeed. But we're gonna go ahead and get up out of here. Thank y'all for tuning in. Make sure that y'all check the description below to keep in contact with everybody here on the show. We're gonna have all their handles there and what they got coming up. And we will catch you next time. Thank you for joining.
Yeah, do the Star Wars thing.